And our final headline.
Okay, so turning now to the Huffington Post. The headline is methane levels have spiked a worrying amount and no one is sure why.
Okay, spiked, meaning increased and decreased suddenly.
Yeah, so something goes up very quickly and then it goes down again very quickly. And it actually creates, if you think of a graph, the shape will be up and down, and this shape is known as a spike.
Yeah, a spike is a physical thing, isn't it?
It can be, yes, it can be, yes.
A piece of metal with the sharp end.
Yeah, often a weapon, yeah. Old-fashioned weapons, before people had guns, you'd have a stick with a spike on the end of it, which I would have used in our team meeting if I'd had one. But as it is, we often use it metaphorically to describe a sharp raise and then an equally sharp decrease.
Yeah.
So here in methane levels, but you can have it in lots of other things like our electricity consumption. In our football match we were talking about, at half time, electricity consumption goes up and then it will go down again quite quickly. So that pattern is called a spike.
And that's the difference, isn't it, between surge and spike? You've got that up and down.
Yeah.
Which is quick.
Yes. The surge is going up and we don't really know. It probably goes down at some point, but it's not as dramatically up and then down again.
And it's also a very visual word because we said there's this physical thing called a spike, and you can imagine on a graph that it's just like a point.
Yeah. Although it's worth pointing out that, you know, some of these headlines are saying surge and some of them are saying spike, and they're kind of using them interchangeably. So in your everyday speech, there's a slight difference between the words, between going up and down or just going up in numbers. They're using them to describe the same thing. It's a dramatic increase.
It's a verb and a noun.
Verb and a noun, yeah.
And the preposition that goes with it when it's a noun?
There is a spike in electricity consumption, for example.
It is now time for our Facebook challenge. We've been talking about cows and gas that they produce. And the question that we set for our Facebook followers was, which of these adjectives is used to describe something that is like a cow, has the characteristics of a cow? Is it A, feline, B, bovine, or C, equine?
And we had a great response on Facebook as usual. One of our followers, Tayuku Mohammed Yassir, told us bovine equals cow, equine equals horse, feline equals cat, and that's exactly right. So the answer B, bovine, is the correct answer. Well done to Shadi Jarmush, Vera David, and of course Teku Mohammed Yassir, and everybody else who got that correct. Well done, everyone.
Yes, well done. And just time now, Catherine, for a recap of the vocabulary.
Yeah, we had surge, which means a sudden increase, undermining, making less effective, and spiked, increased suddenly and then decreased suddenly.
And you would probably like to test yourself on this vocabulary, which you can do at our website, bbclearningenglish.com, and you can find all kinds of other materials to help you improve your English. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
News review from BBC Learning English. News review from BBC Learning English. Hello and welcome to News Review, the programme where we show you how to use the language from the latest news stories in your everyday English. Hi, I'm Neil. Joining me is Catherine. Hello, Catherine.
Hello, Neil.
So what's our story today?
So today we have a story about a large animal which is in great danger.
Okay, well, let's find out some more from this BBC World Service News Bulletin.
A new report says Gabon has lost 80% of its elephant population over the past decade. Researchers in the United States say that about 25,000 of the pachyderms have been slaughtered.
So a story from Africa there, and the elephant population of the country of Gabon has gone down by 80% in the last 10 years. Now this is happening because of illegal hunting, which researchers say is responsible for the death of 25,000 elephants.
Okay, very serious story. You've been looking at it online, the various news websites. What are the words that keep coming up?
Okay, so suitably serious vocabulary is coming up, and we have carnage, poachers, and decimate.
Carnage, poachers, and decimate. So That first word, carnage, how's that appearing in the headlines?
Okay, so let's go to the BBC News website. The headline here is Carnage in Gabon's Elephant Sanctuary.
Okay, so carnage, meaning the killing of large numbers of people or animals.
Yes, and it is a word that describes or makes you think of a really nasty, violent scene. We're talking about a lot of death, a lot of destruction, body parts, blood. Carnage is a word we use to describe things like war and natural disasters, earthquakes, for example. So it's a really kind of a word, a horrible word, really, to describe a lot of death and destruction.
Yeah, and it's being used literally here because of the deaths of these animals, elephants in this case. We also can use it more generally to describe a situation where there's a lot of destruction.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be about death, but we can use it in a sort of serious sense to describe something that might happen in the world of business, for example, or in the world of work. You have a meeting where everybody's arguing and shouting. You could describe that meeting as carnage.
Yeah, or you could say that there was carnage on the stock exchange.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that there was death and destruction.
No.
It means that there was a large amount of damage or
maybe
disruption.
Yeah, maybe a lot of people lost a lot of money on the stock exchange one day. You could say that, you could describe that as carnage, and that's a completely acceptable use of the word. It doesn't show any disrespect to a real death situation. It's just another way to use the word, and you can even use it in a kind of quite light-hearted way sometimes to describe a situation that's kind of out of control and quite messy.
You hear that quite often, and it isn't disrespectful.
Not at all. For example, I hear you had a birthday in your house recently, Neil?
Yeah, small children birthday party.
Oh, really? Little girls?
25 kids in my house. There was laughter and crying and screaming and cake and
balloons,
games, and mainly noise.
Right.
Noise. Yeah, you could describe that as carnage. There was carnage, but there was
no one got hurt.
Nobody got hurt. There were no bodies or anything.
Yeah.
A different sort of meaning.
Okay, cool.
Next, what is your headline?
Okay, so now let's move on to the Huffington Post, and we have the headline, Poachers have all but emptied this sanctuary of forest elephants.
Okay, poachers, people who catch and kill animals illegally to eat or sell.
Yeah. And yes, these people have gone onto this area of forest which is protected.
Yeah.
They've gone on without permission.
It's not their property.
Not their property. They don't have a right to these animals. They've gone on with weapons. They've gone on illegally. They've killed the animals, and they've taken either the whole animal or the body parts away, either to eat or sell. They don't have permission. It's against the law. Those people are poachers, and the verb is to poach.
Yeah, and it can be again used in a more sort of light-hearted way.
Yes,
meaning to kind of steal in a slightly cheeky fashion.
Yes, it's not disrespectful to use this word in a light-hearted way. And let's talk about the BBC Learning English Football League.
Yes.
Of which my team, I'm captain of team Catherine United.
Yes, I'm Neil City.
And I discovered a new player for my team, Rob, who has lots of many talents, and one of them is football. I realised he was great. I got him on my football team. I told you about this, Neil.
You made the mistake of telling me.
Well, I trusted you, let's be fair. And what happened